Welcome to Reality is Undefeated. I'm at Gatewood. Thank you for tuning in. Listen, man, you can choose your action. The reaction doesn't belong to you. And although your action may be a reaction itself, the same applies. Example, Eilena's cousin pressed Cain. Cain stomped him out. Eilena's cousin came back, and we know how that ended. Action, reaction, and reaction to the reaction. And this can be a never-ending cycle. Gang violence. It's important when making decisions that you're cognizant to the outcomes that can result from those decisions. Because not only do you not choose the reactions, you don't choose when or where it arrives. It could be immediate or it could be a month from now. It could be in physical force or it could be in the form of a subpoena. It could be at the mall or it could be at your doorstep. You're truly open to all possibilities. Being respectful is the best way to approach everything. Or as Greg Popovich stated, having an appropriate fear. Having an appropriate fear allows you to respect your opponent and know nothing is going to be easy. That seems to be a problem amongst some of us today. As for many, in order for them to see themselves as strong, they have to assume their opponents are weak. Never assume anything about anyone. Assumptions are dangerous. The world has coined an old name, a new term as a result of this. Karen. 15 years ago, a prejudiced woman sticking her nose in someone else's business, assuming trouble, and stirring up controversy would largely go without consequence. Today they go viral, and that comes with its own problems. Jeremy Brown assumed Carlisha Hood was without protection. I'm not sure I told this story or not, but just in case I haven't, I'll insert it in today's episode of Things I'll Never Forget. El Dorado High School, Las Vegas, Nevada, 2002. It's my junior year. Not sure what class I'm in, but I'm about 3 or 4 rows over as far as desks from where this happened. Black kid about my size. Back then I was 5'8", 160. And he's sitting in a desk behind this white kid who's a little bit bigger, but he looks unathletic, right? I'm not sure why it started or none of that, but the black kid's just talking mad shit to the white kid. To the point that he then stands over top of him, and now he's talking shit to him while the white kid's still sitting in his desk, and he's not saying anything. Eventually, the white kid stands up, and now they're face to face. When I tell you this white kid grabbed him by the neck, held him up in the air, full arm extension, and then slammed him on top of that desk, mind you, when he slammed him on top of the desk, his hands are still around his neck, all right? Took like 3 or 4 people to get him off of him. And when they got him off of him, do you know what he said? He said, "Do you know what I could have done to you? I spared you." He assumed that because he was white, quiet, and unathletic, he was also weak and unable to defend himself. Rumor has it, his pops used to whoop his ass daily, and so all he did was lift weights. Now, unlike Newton's third law, these actions don't always have reactions. There are some bullies that have never been dealt with in that kind of way. Furthermore, some reactions come in the form of karma, and karma can be instant. I remember reading a story here in Vegas a few years back about some young men who were out on the road being stupid. They were driving their vehicle close to the edge of the road when one of them hung out the window and pushed a person who was riding a bicycle. That person fell off the bicycle, hit their head, and died. The person who pushed them fell out of the vehicle, hit his head, and died. The driver arrested for murder. Young men, you have to make sound decisions.